Would you like to see the alignments and the aspects we're talking about this week? Well, check out the weekly overview on the funastrology.com YouTube channel. A picture really is worth 1,000 words. Ow! If you listened yesterday, you knew that was coming. It is full moon Tuesday, September 17th. Hi, everybody. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast, and this is a juiced up full moon because it is also a partial lunar eclipse. Happens at 10:34 Eastern this evening. The sun and the moon both opposite each other. See, here's number 2 of our oppositions this week. Mentioned that last week. This is another one. And they are at 25 degrees 40 minutes Pisces. Jenny Geyer is going to join us in just a second with some great thoughts on moving through this, so to speak. But I did want to touch on one thing in the chart to be aware of today. Remember yesterday we said this whole week has a theme of challenges around it. So in the natural chart, that's where 0 Aries is at the ascendant point of the chart. You started as fresh with the zodiac. The sun is in the 6th house, and the moon in Pisces is in the 12th. And the moon is within a wide 10-degree orb of Saturn, so it is, you could say they are conjunct. They're at least conjunct by sign. If not, we could split hairs over 10 degrees. But the moon is definitely in orb of Neptune, basically only 3 degrees away. Pisces and Neptune rule the 12th house. So this is a, boom, triple shot of Neptune and Pisces. So one thing you might do before you do your full moon ceremony this evening, which the moon will be big and bright and peaked this evening. Wow, I love that it's only just a little bit after sunset. But you might want to brush up on some 12th house Neptune and Pisces characteristics, whether you use something like the Astrology Bible or if you're in the 101 course or however you find the information, just some good old searching online. But you might want to just take a look at some of those characteristics because they are big and powerful and strong. Now, let's check in with Jenny. I know everybody loves to hear Jenny's thoughts, so I wanted her to take on the eclipse for us.
Hello, Fun Astrology Podcast listeners. Today we have a very powerful lunar eclipse in Pisces, and it has a very important message for all of us, so listen carefully. The Pisces-Virgo axis corresponds to how we as Earthlings manage the sometimes seemingly polarized demands of body and soul. How do we balance the deep thirst of our souls to seek new experiences, connect with ecstatic realms and worlds beyond, with our body's fundamental demands for boring stuff like groceries and dentist appointments and clean underwear? Our souls don't necessarily want to spend time filing taxes, driving in traffic, or going to the dentist, but our minds and bodies tell us these tasks are required for us to maintain security and our health in the mundane, three-dimensional world. I'm sure most of us can think of at least one daunting task we absolutely dreaded with every bone in our body. The more you thought about having to get it done, the more stressful and overwhelming it became in your mind. Perhaps this was something you found ways to procrastinate, so you did, until finally the thought of doing the task was eventually replaced by only the awful feelings it dredged up instead. In other words, the action became the thought, became the feeling. This is the reverse process of manifestation. It is unmanifestation. So what if you turned it around and started with changing the feeling? Think of one thing you know you need to get done, but you've been putting off because you really don't want to do it. Now, as absurd as it may seem, try imagining doing the task, but joyfully, or simply imagine how it will feel once it's done and over with, and you're free. Now all that's left to do is to do the thing. The Pisces lunar eclipse has a gift to offer us, a preview of what the next couple of years have in store once the lunar nodes move into the Pisces-Virgo axis this February. Pisces is mutable water, Virgo is mutable earth. This is highly fertile energy. Whatever you wish to grow, whatever seeds you drop will soon have the most optimal conditions possible for abundant growth. But here's the catch. The health of those seeds, like the health of any living thing, lies in the details of its environment and its relationship to that environment. How we as humans live our day-to-day lives, our nutrition, our habits, our loops and circles of people, places, and things we interact with routinely all play a major role in our ability to stay in flow, to feel in connection with that higher power that guides our intuition so that we can move gracefully and joyfully through the constantly shifting currents of energy that surround us. Virgo is traditionally associated with the archetype of the hermit, the sage that seeks enlightenment or to understand the nature of God. But you don't just one day wake up on a yoga mat on top of a mountain somewhere or in a hut tucked away deep in the forest. The hermit becomes the hermit by completing a few preliminary steps in order to set himself up for success. The hermit knows there's no Uber Eats delivery in the middle of the woods, and that in order to receive divine knowledge, he's got to chop wood and carry water to build his hut and to grow a garden with enough crops to last him through winter. He knows that in order to spend hours a day in meditation, to sleep comfortably so he can dream deeply and understand their messages, he needs to go to an IKEA first and buy a mattress and a bed frame for himself and put it together. Therefore, the hermit's dedication to creating the space for his spiritual work to commence is a testament to his devotion to his true purpose. He understands deeply that if he does not tend well enough to these basic chores, if they aren't done properly, then these mundane tasks will start cutting into his yoga time. Then instead of being a hermit, he's just some lonely, stressed out guy with a scraggly beard struggling to survive in the woods. Now, if being a hermit in the woods is not your goal, maybe it's just being a kinder, healthier, happier, more loving human. Whatever you're trying to become or whatever it is about your life that you love already, show your devotion to it by tending to the details needed to create an environment that fosters the ideals or goals you have for your present and future self. Life on Earth, as we know it, is under major reconstruction, and though we can't see the whole picture yet, this tectonic shift will begin to impose upon our individual lives in ways that we will not be able to avoid any longer. This eclipse season offers a beautiful window of divine grace to practice at being more present and in tune with our own minds, bodies, and rhythms in order to become more agile and adaptable for when the big waves of change start coming faster and faster over the next few years. The more we prepare now in the present, the more powerful we'll feel moving into the future. Time to set intentions and begin working on your master manifestations will come, but right now it's time to get all your ducks in a row. Do the nagging task and make the doctor appointment you've been delaying. Any progress you can make on creating a more supportive environment for yourself, which may include eliminating any unnecessary distractions, energy-draining activities, unhealthy habits, or relationships over the next couple of months, will yield incredible returns in the coming years. Time is of the essence, and we have until Saturn stations to move direct in Pisces again to check off some of the biggest items in our to-do lists. So get to work. And remember, God is in the details.
Great thoughts there, Jenny. Thank you so much. And I hope that you will keep that in mind, because with that sun in the 6th house as part of this eclipse, we are talking about the very structure of getting things done. All things Virgo. Don't forget to focus on that. Pisces can divide us up, make us go here and there. All right, well, you guys have a good one. Back tomorrow, and we will talk about this more and the next aspect, which is one of the akin oppositions. We'll get them all out of the way here in the first part of the week. Have a good one. Thanks, Jenny. Bye-bye.